And now, for the first time on YouTube, you will see the faces of the Heel Pictures crew.
Hello guys, I'm Oscar.
I'm James.
And that's not William. This is Gary. He's from Gary's Photography, and in case you can't tell from his channel name, he does photography.
I've once recommended his.
You once recommended his channel. William's not here, so you don't know his face still. This is my face, that's James's face. Then again, people have probably seen your face.
Yeah.
Through my vines.
Yes.
Action close up.
No.
I think I broke my Mac. And action.
These nuts.
Action close up. Damn it, no! They're funny.
Like the two people who've watched them.
Yeah. And just in case if you can't read the title, this is the our top 10 favourite films of the year just gone, 2013. Mine and James are going to give our top 10. Gary's just going to be here, going to be like,
Yeah, that's good.
I agree.
Giving inappropriate comments.
Yeah. Just to let you know, I did not get to see Don John or Blue Jasmine, which I wanted to see. Also, I just want to say that considering we're in the UK, we have not got films such as American Hustle, 12 Years a Slave, The Wolf of Wall Street, Her, or Out of the Furnace until like January or February. So
not many of them.
Bit of balls, to be honest.
We might do an update on Facebook maybe, because I think those are films that might make our top 10. I just want to say a few honourable mentions first, because this, in my opinion, 2013 was a good year for films.
Brilliant.
Except,
Except a few.
Yeah.
Such as Movie 43, which we've not yet seen yet.
No, not yet.
A few honourable mentions I want to give Pixar's Monsters University, great prequel in my opinion. Ron Howard's Rush, I'm surprised I'm not saying this is not in my top 10, but yeah, a pretty good film. Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2, yes it does count as a 2013 film. Check that out, I thought it was a very faithful adaptation. Star Trek Into Darkness, again I'm surprised that's not in my top 10. And Neil Blomkamp's Elysium, not as good as District 9 in my opinion, but I still think it was a good film. Do you want to give your 10 first?
My number 10 is Trance by Danny Boyle.
Oh, Danny Boyle's Trance, nice.
Yeah, because going into it, I thought it was going to be some bollocks hypnotism type thing, a bit like Now You See Me.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought Danny Boyle doing like a flashy action movie. I thought, because he's train spotting, gritty stuff like that. But then James McAvoy was in it, and I thought, huh. And then I started watching it. It was really good. It was a really good heist movie. I like the.
Yeah, and then it got kind of.
It got
trippy.
Yeah, it got like.
Yeah, I still don't know.
It got somewhat gritty during like the part where James McAvoy's character's being tortured.
Yes.
That was that's like a train spotting type thing, like the grittiness of it all.
Get his fingernails
Angle as well.
Yeah.
But I did think it was really good, and like the story and the characters were.
Yeah, you believe that.
Unfortunately, I didn't like it as much as some of the other ones. That's why it's only at number 10.
My number 10 is going to cause a lot of hate already, and that's Nicholas Winding reference Only God Forgives.
Boo!
I know.
Boo!
I just want to say that I can understand why people hate this film. I can truly understand why some people would absolutely despise this film. But out of the three Winding Refn films, Bronson, Drive and Only God Forgives I've seen, this is my least favourite. However, I still think it was beautifully shot.
It really is.
It deserves an Oscar nomination for Best Cinematography in my opinion. Visually it looked amazing. I feel the story was cool and everything. The acting wasn't great. It kind of lacked in story a bit. But it's a film that kept me thinking. So if a film can make me think about it after I watched it, it deserves some spot on my list. So number 10, Only God Forgives.
After mentioning it for my number 10, my number 9 is Now You See Me.
Oh, okay. That's...
It was actually a really good movie. The way that they mixed like a heist movie with a magic movie,
right,
it was actually really good. Jesse Eisenberg was really good. Woody Harrelson was good.
Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine.
Morgan Freeman and
Mark Ruffalo.
Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine were just sort of there.
Mark Ruffalo was in it.
Mark Ruffalo was really good, but the way that the mix, like they did all the story of the magicians coming together and like how they tricked with the magic, it was really good.
And I wasn't interested in it.
It's really good.
Okay. My number 9, again, for a lot of people this might be too low on the list, and it's Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity. I think it's similar to Only God Forgives in a way that they're both visually gorgeous. They kind of lack in story, in my opinion. But Gravity is universally loved, and yet Only God Forgives is universally
The thing
hated.
with Gravity is how much story can you get from one actor being stuck.
I know, anyway, but Gravity. This might be some of the best. This might be the best visual effects I've seen. It's the most realistic space atmosphere I've seen. It's brilliant. George Clooney was good for the amount of time he was in it. Sandra Bullock was really good, and I love the fact how it's like people might say she's overreacting. But you don't know that unless if you've been in space. You can't say that she's overreacting.
The only thing
she's flying in a zero gravity area. She is frightened for her life, and it's a very thrilling film. I think Alfonso Cuarón's director was really good. The fact how long shots, like long takes, and
the camera movement was really good. Like that one shot where she's spinning.
Yeah, and then it goes into a helmet, and then it's like you're looking through her point of view.
It's like you see the Earth, space.
Have you seen it, Gavin?
I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, I still prefer. I think Children of Men is still Alfonso Cuarón's better film. Prison of Azkaban is still better, I think, than Gravity, but Gravity's still really good. And so Gravity's my number 9. And it probably will get a lot of Oscar buzz.
My number 8 is Pacific Rim.
Number 9, do you
Yeah, number 8.
Number 8, yeah.
Pacific Rim, because unlike someone, I actually like the Godzilla movies.
Alright,
I'm not a fan of these big monsters versus big. It's Transformers to me. That's basically that's what.
The way that
it's beautiful.
The way that it is, isn't it? The way that like they incorporate the kaiju and the big robots was really nah. It's like sitting there and having flashbacks to Power Rangers.
Okay.
It's like the Megazord versus everything. But the actor was really good as well. Ron Perlman's really funny.
I relatively want to check it out because I like Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
and I trust him in the
Scottish style. And
that's the only reason why I want to check it out. If it was just some schlob director, I'd be like.
And a minor character called I can't remember his name, but he's played by Charlie Day.
Charlie Day, right?
Yeah, he's one of the best characters in it. He's only a minor character. He's friggin' hilarious. It was really good.
My number 8 is a film that none of you have seen. It's Jeff Nichols's Mud, which stars Matthew McConaughey. And now this year, 2013 has been a pretty big year for coming of age stories. There's been Kings of Summer, which I haven't seen, The Spectacular Now, which I did not get to see, and The Way Back, which didn't make my list, but it was cool. But Mud, in my opinion, was the best coming of age story, and I'll tell you why. It had a very Stand By Me type of feel. The two kid actors were great. Reese Witherspoon is good in a role finally in a long time, and Matthew McConaughey gives. This year's been 2013, and from what I've heard, has been the year of Matthew McConaughey revitalising his career, and he's starring in Interstellar by Christopher Nolan this year. So yeah, he's choosing good career paths. I feel Mud was a great performance. He deserves the best supporting actor nod in my opinion, but. If it had a Stand By Me feel, and that's why I liked it. It kind of dragged a bit, but I still think it was a very good tale, and it's, as I said, I had Stand By Me feel, and I love that film, so that's my number 8.
My number 7 is Monsters University.
Oh, my honourable mention. Yeah, I wanted to put on my list, but there were so many other films that I saw that
because I went to see it with my family, and mainly because we went to see Monsters University all the way back in 2001.
Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. back in 2001.
That's when it came out.
So it was like
such a good. It's one of my favourite Pixar films.
And it's just it brought back so much nostalgia, and the fact that they got nearly everyone back as well. I mean,
and what made it pretty cool for me was that I saw it, and then 2 days later I went to Florida to Disney World.
It's one of the best Pixar movies. I mean, the animation was just beautiful.
Yeah. My number 7 is actually a third film in a trilogy, and that is Before Midnight. Previous films being Before Sunrise, Before Sunset. In my opinion, probably Before Sunrise is my favourite romance film, either that or 500 Days of Summer. But Before Midnight, again, it has that same feel as the two previous films. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy were great in the film, in my opinion, and the writing by those two, the dialogue was great. Because if you're not familiar with the films are essentially these two like lovers walking around. Well, in the first two films,
Stark naked.
yes. In the first two films, there's like Paris in Italy. This film, it's Greece. Walking around, they're just talking, and it's like it takes place every 9 years. So it's like you see them growing up. In the first film, they're two young lovers, and they're like, "Oh, I love each other." Blah, blah. Next film, it's like they meet each other after 9 years, and like, "Oh, how are you doing?" Blah blah blah. This film, they're married, and they have kids, and they're kind of arguing all the time because it's like it's very realistic in that approach, and it's Before Midnight is my least favourite out of the trilogy, but I really liked it. It has a unique style to it. So number 7 is Before Midnight.
Sorry, you bored me to death.
I know I did.
My number 6 is Jagten, otherwise known in Europe as The Hunt.
Oh,
I
I didn't think that'll make your top 10 for some reason.
I only watched this. Must have been 3 or 4 days ago.
Over a few days.
Yeah, and it was really good. I've never felt so angry while watching a film. Just the way it's and Mads Mikkelsen plays that.
Where the hell did that come from? That performance? Where the
Yeah.
hell did that come
Like,
from?
you think, oh god,
The villain from
you-
Casino
you-
Royale.
You think, Casino Royale. He's Hannibal. He's a really sensitive guy who's going through a horribly horrific time. What?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the fact that it's like a Dutch movie means that not many people might see it.
Yeah.
But it's
But-
on DVD in the
yeah.
UK, so.
But like the story was just brilliant, and
This does count as a 2013 film because it has only technically just come out in England.
Yeah.
So yeah.
but I thought it was really Mads Mikkelsen stole the show, and
Thomas Bo Larsen, the supporting character as well.
who I thought was Hans from Trollhunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did really good. Like, if you want to see some good foreign cinema, definitely watch
Oh,
that.
definitely. My number 6 is an interesting pick. It's Peter Jackson's The Hobbit, The Desolator Smaug.
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 Yeah.
It's a wicked name.
I did a review on this and I kind of explained it on here on the Facebook page. I did state that when I first, because I wasn't a fan of the first film, I liked it. I wasn't that great into it. I can't remember too much about Fellowship. I remember liking it, but I can't remember too much about it. And after watching The Desolator Smaug, first time I watched it, I didn't really like it. There was a few good parts and it dragged, in my opinion. But after thinking about it a few days, it grew on me. I really did like it, and I might need to see Fellowship again. Otherwise, this might be my favourite Middle Earth film because I haven't seen Two Towers: Return of the King. Leave hate down below if you want to.
Why
you
haven't seen it?
I know. But yeah, it felt very epic and it had that whimsical fantasy feel. I thought the guy who played Thorin was really good, and Benedict Cumberbatch as Smaug.
He was alright.
Alright. That's my number 6. Top 5 now.
My number 5 is Gravity.
Okay.
Because I really like films which are like one actor, like Moon. It reminded me of Moon.
I felt Moon was much better.
Well, like
Yes,
the first half of Moon where he's on his own.
Apparently, there's another film with Robert Redford that came out in 2013 called All Is Lost, which was actually.
There was another one called Love as well, which came out in 2011, which is like the same thing.
Yeah.
But I really like. There was a few parts that annoyed me.
Yeah, you said yeah. I thought Gravity would have been high on my list. To be fair, than yours.
There's a few parts of it which annoyed me, but if you get past
The whole
that,
like symbolism about like
Yeah.
she.
No, that wasn't bad. It was the spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay.
The part where it was the part where
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean. Yeah.
that thing
Yeah,
happened in the
And-
shuttle at the end.
The short film that was directed by Jonas Cuarón, his son, that was really cool.
Oninga.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best.
Lincolns?
One of the best.
Yeah.
Shot I connected to a
Yeah.
film type thing.
And that's Alfonso Cuarón's son, who co-wrote the film with him. So
Which was shit. But yeah, it's made space look beautiful. The part
definitely,
where, the part where like all the debris is coming through space and you see all that was really
The
good.
sound, I did not mention it, the sound editing's brilliant. I was like,
You can't hear the because
well, even like from just the vibration of the arm.
there's no sound in space.
Yeah.
So
It's really cool. Yeah, the soundtrack was good as well. I thought, even though that, as you said, you stated before that you would have preferred it if there was just no soundtrack at all.
yeah,
But yeah, the soundtrack was good for what was in it.
but it was really good.
Yeah. My number 5 is Edgar Wright's The World's End. I'm a fan of the Blood and Ice Cream trilogy, Cornetto trilogy, whatever you want to call it. I'm a fan of that. Hot Fuzz is still my favourite, but this is a close second. Even knowing the twist, which was shown in the trailer, it still was really good, and I feel this was Simon Pegg's and Nick Frost's best performance in anything they've done.
It was nice just to see them back since it's been like 6-7 years.
Unless if you count Paul, which they did a joint thing.
Well, like an Edgar Wright thing.
Edgar Wright is probably one of my favourite directors. He's got such a unique and brilliant style.
It's a bit like a comic book.
Yeah, it's like they're fans. That's what they. Because I was literally just watching before you and Gary came out. Edgar Wright was recommending film. He did a video with Total Film when he was recommending films that you might not have heard of, but I think Phase 4, like sci-fi film and some.
Well, if you think
he's a fan. That's what I like.
Shaun of the Dead was like a tribute to those. Hot Fuzz was like a tribute to the old.
Because there was a lot of Point Break.
Like the old buddy cop movies.
Yeah, and
this is like old 50s sci-fi.
Yeah, and you can tell he's a fan, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and everything like that. He was, I just loved The World's End. It was funny and it was dramatic, and the action scenes. When did the action scenes in the action scenes in this film had no right to be that good? Had no right to be that good. So yeah, my number 5 is The World's End. My favourite comedy of the year.
My number 4 is The World's End.
Nay! Number 4, did you say? Yeah.
I really like it. It's my favourite one. It beats out Hot Fuzz just because of I was sat through it and I was just laughing for most of it. There's that one moment where Nick Frost is drunk.
Yeah,
and he's trying to explain the plot in about 10 seconds. And then as soon as after that he does something which I couldn't.
It's so simple, but yet so hilarious.
And the fact that it's got Paddy Considine. It's got Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
It's got Pierce Brosnan's in it.
Wow, I didn't
It's got Nick Frost, Simon Pegg. It's got a few of the actors from Spaced. I can't remember their names.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's got the other guy who I can't remember, and I feel so
Who
horrible.
played Peter.
Yeah, who played Peter.
And he was in Sherlock Holmes, the film.
It's just absolutely a brilliant cast and a brilliant story. The writing's just perfect.
That's the main. I think the writing is the strong point. Film.
Yeah.
And my number 4 was on your list and it was pretty low. It's Danny Boyle's Trance. Again, I don't want to say we talked about it, but yeah, it's one of those films. It's like I feel it's the inception of the year. In that way, it's like it's a smart film that gets a lot of people thinking, and I think it's the most underrated film of this year, just because it's not getting any recognition. And when it gets recognition, it's getting hated on. I don't understand why people hate it.
A lot of people have said it's bad because it's different to what Danny Boyle's done before.
I haven't seen like Train Spawn from what I say. It's from what it looks like. It looks very similar to that type of style.
Danny Boyle's got like a really gritty style.
I've seen Slumdog Millionaire, and I think Slumdog Millionaire.
I wonder if it's because he's gone from Slumdog Millionaire's Oscar winning, it's like a romance thing, to all the way down to heist.
Trance and stuff.
I prefer like trance and stuff compared to like
Slumdog wasn't very good.
I haven't seen 127 Hours yet. But
that was really good.
But Trance, I think, is
beautiful.
When I talked about it in my Man on the Moon review on the YouTube channel, I did say it was probably it's one of the best films of this decade so far. And I'm not sure if I would stick by that, but it might be in my top. If I did make a list of my favourite films of the decade so far, it might be in my top 10. But yeah, so that's my number 4. Now on top 3!
Yay! My number 3, which is probably going to get a lot of...
I think I know what your...
flack
Actually,
is.
I'm not sure now. Like, what's your
number
top
3, which will probably get a lot of flack, is VHS 2.
Yeah, that's nice.
And the reason it'll get flack because people are going, sorry, it's the first one, it's got all these crappy stuff. But I really liked it. It was such an improvement to the first. The first one was like, it had like straight up horror. Yeah. Everyone was straight up horror.
Yeah. Is the second one isn't it quite comedic?
Yeah,
at
the
times
first
as
one was
well?
like straight up horror, you know, death, die, die.
Yeah.
And it was like an experimentation. The VHS2 just expanded on that. The VHS effects on it look a lot better. Because at some point it looks like it was filmed on VHS. It looked so good. And the fact that the stories are just so much more expanded. One of them, which I can't remember what it's called, but it's about a group of people go to they go to interview this guy who's got he runs this religion, like this Chinese Korean religion,
Right.
and it basically as it goes on, it gets darker and darker, and you get you learn more about it. It's just, and then this big thing happens, and it's just really good. It's like one of the rare occurrences where the sequel is better than the original.
I only know two directors who did the segment in that film, and it was the guy who did Hobo a Shotgun, and Gareth Evans who did The Raid, and who's doing The Raid 2. So
The guy who did the Raid as well did the Chinese, the Korean thing,
probably yeah.
the Asian thing. I can't.
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah. Indonesian probably.
It's English.
My number 3 is The Hunt. I'm just going to say my top 3 are probably not only my 3 favourite films of the year, but they're probably some of my favourite films of all time. So The Hunt, in my opinion, honestly, The Hunt is probably my favourite foreign film, and I've seen Old Boy and Battle Royale.
Old Boy was. Josh Brolin was.
Yeah, that one. Mads Mikkelsen, where the hell did this performance come from? Where on earth did this come from? And it's like, as you said, one of those films that you just hate everyone except Mads Mikkelsen. But at the same time, you think about them and you put yourselves in their shoes, and then you think, wait, if I was in their shoes, though, I would react the same way as they're doing to
So it's
him,
like a moral.
because you've got no proof of what this guy did. As far as they know, Mads Mikkelsen is the dirtiest scum on the earth. But in Mads Mikkelsen's shoes, he's like,
Wrong
I'm
way.
innocent. I don't want to say too much about the plot, because if you don't know about it, just go into it. You will. But yeah, even the girl who caused all this, it's not her fault. She's a little girl. She doesn't know.
She
what's
was a
happening.
really good child actor.
Yeah, it's like everyone you don't hate. It's like you think you hate everyone except Mads Mikkelsen, but when you think about it, it's no one's fault in a way. It's just a misunderstanding that got way out of hand. And I love
The way some people reacted.
yeah,
is-
like the corner shop.
Yeah.
Like the grocery shop. Speaking of grocery shop, that scene where he just walks in and he's like, I'm not having any of this.
Yeah,
And that's, yeah.
that's how you would be.
Yeah, it's probably a very realistic
Way of
like,
treating it.
it's like, it's not just like he's Mads Mikkelsen is not just also like, I hate everyone. He's trying to be friends with everyone still, and he's
Trying to
trying
sort it out logically.
and he's trying to get on with his life, and he's still getting the dog.
Won't ruin that.
Yeah. But yeah, The Hunt it's in the running for being a nomination for Best Foreign Film in the Academy Awards. I think it deserves to win.
Yeah.
I think it's I didn't get to see A Hijacking, which is directed by the writer of The Hunt, and it's the same type of premise as Captain Phillips and all that jazz.
Foreign films
Yeah.
is it just the same 3 people.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, but I didn't get to see that in time, but The Hunt is probably my favourite foreign film of the year and of all time. I think Mads Mikkelsen deserves at least a nomination for Best Actor. And yeah, number 3 is The Hunt. Go and see it if you haven't.
My number 2 is Desolation of Smaug.
Oh, okay.
Because I
I know you're number 1 now.
I
I know you're number 1.
I really, 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 really like The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the
it's
Middle
one of my
Earth.
favourite series, and these have just brought back so much of it. It's just like the look, the acting, the story. It feels as epic as the other old ones.
I think it helped that we didn't see it in 48 frames this time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah.
So you've basically said Thorin was the best. Martin Freeman deserves.
I think No Smaug was best in my opinion, but yeah.
I think Martin Freeman deserves a nomination for best actor.
He was really good. His evolution of Bilbo was great. I think he was good in the first one, but seeing him evolve is brilliant in this one.
And it's got me so pumped for the last movie that I have to wait until December for.
The film got me. That film got me pumped for Sherlock. It's like saying Smaug and Bilbo. I was like, that's Sherlock and Watson.
But that was really good.
Yeah. My number 2, a film we've all seen. We've all, as in us 3. And I know your feelings towards it, James, and I know your feelings towards it, Gary. And I did a review on it, and at the time I said it was the best film of the year. It's Derek Cianfrance's The Place Beyond the Pines. I did a review on it, praising it to the heavens. So I don't need to say too much about it. But it's one of those films that grips me, and I'm in it for the ride. And there's a twist in this film. I'm not going to spoil it. The twist in this film, it's downright Hitchcockian, and it takes some guts to pull it off. And I feel Cianfrance did it really well. Bradley Cooper gives the best performance of his career, in my opinion. Some people may say Silverline's Playbook is still his best performance. I say this is. Again, I have not seen American Hustle, so I can't say if he was brilliant in that. But yeah, overall, Place Beyond the Pines, it's still a film that I go back to, and it still has the same impactful feeling since the first time I watched it. And it's the only film where my jaw literally just dropped when that twist happened. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Pines then?
I didn't really like it.
I know you did.
But I'm biased towards that because I don't really like that genre of.
Or crime drama.
It's not really. It's just like romancy dramas.
It's not really romance though. It's more. It's more of a family tale.
I just didn't care for Gosling's character.
Fair enough.
And when it switched over to Bradley Cooper's character, I was just like, when it like goes to Bradley Cooper's his side of the story, it was like, yeah. And by the end, I was just like,
I will admit the third act is the weakest part of it. But
the soundtrack was really, really good though.
That one theme, the Snow Angel, is just that's the thing that like really.
And the scene at the end where spoiler.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I forgot. Yes. Yeah.
The scene at the end where
he rides off.
He rides off on the bike, and you see him riding into the trees. That was the cinematography was really good.
The
opening shot was really good as well, where it's
following
from behind.
Yeah, so that's my number 2. And your favourite film of the year?
My favourite film of the year is the Evil Dead remake.
What a guess.
Mainly because Evil Dead is one of my favourite horror films of all time. And I saw this and I thought, it's going to be, it's going to be like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, those remakes.
It's not technically a remake, is it?
It's kind of like an adaptation.
Yeah.
Because Raimi said that it's what he wanted to do if he had the budget back then.
Raimi and Campbell produced it, and I think
the fact that most of the originals were on it, and and it was just so good that it was. One thing that just made me cry with happiness was the fact that 98% of the effects were practical.
Yeah.
I counted 2 CG shots. Everything else was fully practical.
I don't know the director's name, but I think he's got a bright future in the horror world. From what
it was Sam Raimi.
He never directed.
Did he not direct?
No, he didn't. He did Also Great and Powerful that year.
Yeah, it was just because there are so many references that it's unbelievable.
I remember you talking about the chainsaw reference.
No, I said spoiler alert again. There's a part. Actually, no, because I won't spoil. No, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it for you.
You can watch it.
Yeah, but it's just.
I probably will watch it. Sometime.
It was just such a good movie, and if you're a fan of all Evil Dead, definitely watch it.
My favourite film is a film that I think I talked about on the Facebook page. I purposely did not review it just because I just wanted to express my feelings here. And I did. And when everyone was asking me, what's your favourite film, I didn't say because I wanted to express it here. It's Prisoners. This film, if not in my top 15, it might be in my top 10 of all time. I can't pronounce the director's last name. I know it's Denis. It's Denis. I think this is his. Yeah, I think this is his English language debut. Before this, I think he did a French-spoken film called Insidies or something like that. I can't pronounce that, but apparently that's got a pretty good twist in it. This film, Prisoners, it has the best performance by Hugh Jackman. It has the best performance by Jake Gyllenhaal since End of Watch, which was
3 years.
2012.
Oh, it was 2012. I was 2010.
But yeah, he did great. I feel like his performance in this film even tops his performance in Brokeback Mountain, which was great. But yeah, I think everyone's performance was great. I want to specifically name Paul Dano, who played. I don't want to say too much about it, but the kid that got Paul Dano. Yeah, that one. Yeah, he did a really good job. And if you watch him in Looper, he was quite a cocky, brash. I can rule the world. And he was a very timid, It's like, what happened? Like, what happened there? But yeah, overall, I think it's a very good film. Hugh Jackman. If you ever make a Last of Us film, put Hugh Jackman as Joel, because that he can act serious if he wants to.
Wait, so you want? So you
I don't want a
you
Last
want
of Us.
film?
I don't want a Last of Us.
You heard it here first.
I don't want a Last of Us
Oscar
film.
wants a.
If there is a Last.
If you're gonna put that in there, but yeah, the feel of this film is mixed with Last of Us and Heavy Rain. The twist was unexpected as well. Yeah, and after the end, I loved the ending. By the way, a lot of people are gonna hate the ending, but I loved it.
Could have been better.
It was a perfect ending for that film, in my opinion. And I just felt that the feeling I had at the end of Prisoners is probably the same type of feeling I had after the first time I played Heavy Rain. And yeah,
Makes you speak.
makes
Makes you think.
on the drive home from the cinema, I was literally just sat looking out the
Yeah.
window like,
Same here.
I don't know what life is anymore.
I felt the same way after movie 33.
But I haven't seen one.
After we bought it.
But yeah, that's my top. Do you want to give some of your favourite films,
Yeah,
Gary?
what was your favourite film of the year, Gary?
My favourite film was Prisoners.
Do you want to expand on that?
Well, the cast was fantastic.
Jackman deserves the win.
Every single cast on that film, including the freaking the captain, and the other characters like Jake Gyllenhaal, because he's one of my favourite actors of all time, and Henry Jackman.
He's come a long way since Donnie Darko.
Really has.
I love Donnie Darko, but he's come a long way since.
And
12, yeah.
And
You're 13 now.
tomorrow, what do you call that? Fucking disaster movie. Disaster movie. Tomorrow.
I know.
Tomorrow
The day
and-
after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow. I didn't really freaking know he was in that movie until I watched it.
Do you know what I'm surprised is not on your list, James? Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
That is actually, I only give it a 6
That's my fault.
because I just can't enjoy that movie now.
Because it's not that.
Yeah. First viewing it was really good, but now the fact that I found out that most of it was lies.
I still think it's great.
Yes, it was. That end scene, I'm not sure it's
Yeah, the fact,
spoilers.
the fact that
Don't think it
Tom
might be.
Hanks was good in it and the Somalians were good.
Somalians.
The Somalians, yeah. When I found out the fact that it was lies, I was just...
I still think it was a really good film.
That end scene
I feel it
in
went too
the-
political at one point. I got too bored at one point.
That end scene in of Captain Phillips when they were in the infirmary.
Yeah.
That wasn't scripted.
No.
That wasn't even scripted. It wasn't even in like the story itself.
Yeah.
So they had it. They had all the camera passed on while the ship. So why don't we just go down the infirmary and just shoot what you normally do when you receive a hostage?
Yeah.
That's what they said. Which,
Yeah. Anyway, Side by Side,
Probably the best documentary I've seen this year.
yeah, it
Even
is.
though I haven't seen that many, but yeah, that was really
you
good.
kind of saw Room 237.
To Room 237 was...
Yeah, those are our top 10. That's our top 10. 2014, here we come. Again, we might
It's going
update.
to be a freaking huge year.
Again, we might be updating our list once we see stuff like Wolf of Wall Street, 12 Years a Slave, and
Yeah.
stuff like that on
Yeah.
Facebook. Because I have a feeling those are going to be in our top 10 somewhere.
I really want to see 12
Oh, yeah.
years.
Wolf of Wall
has to
Street.
be good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit 3 hours through a movie. And
But Martin
not enjoying
Scorsese and
it.
DiCaprio. But yeah, top 10 list. Thanks, guys. Post your comments down below. See what your favourite films of the year are. Links down below for Twitter. I'll put Gary's Twitter link down below. I'll put Gary's channel link down below. Check out his photography. Anyway, yeah, thanks guys for watching. And we will see you later.
Egotistical.
I will see you later. We will see you later and goodbye.